Hey y'all, hope all is well. I hope you guys had a good Valentine's Day, but don't forget to love on yourself every day. That is like really important. Anyway, a special shout out and welcome to my new subscribers and returning subscribers. And I will be uploading a lot more and a lot frequency and more videos a day because it actually is a lot of stuff that I need to go over, especially with the transformation and as fast as that's coming in. But today I want to talk about the main sign of a karmic mother and parental figure, a toxic one, real karmic, that is always swept under the rug. Now, let me tell you, this video is going to get extremely sensitive and triggering. So I am putting that warning out there now. But before I get there, I will give another little warning. So if you're sensitive, you can click off. But I'll probably have a few videos that are going to be real sensitive, but nothing can be swept under the rug anymore because the rug, the house, the yard, the planet is being energetically purged. So it has to be healed, and you have to look at it and to heal. But my main thing with the karmic mothers and parental figures, the main sign that is always ignored, swept under the rug, is gossip, slander, talking down on your kids to other people. That is the biggest thing. Nobody ever bats an eye at it. Not only that, whatever the parental figure says is always going to be believed because everyone sees it as, well, that's the parent. And if you eat dinner and you have clothes on your back, anything that mother or mother figure, parental figure, because they do have dads that do it too, but anything they say is automatically going to believe, and nobody bats an eye at it. And the thing is, when people speak bad about you to other people, they are actually trying to change the way the people see you. And a lot of times, it's for their own reasons. Most of the time, what I see and what I have noticed as a child, that it was always a projection. This happens so much, and it's bad. It's like almost sometimes it's almost a kick that I notice sometimes. They would get in front of other family members or their friends. They say things to you to embarrass you, to make you feel small. Like I said, people think that's always a sign that it's something, because if they're trying to change the way the public views their own child, what do you think that child is getting in the background? Because number one, if you have a karmic family, even a fear-based family, your root chakra is already affected. Because how are you going to feel safe? And if that's your foundation, you don't have that at home. So that's you putting blocks and throwing debris there. But what I noticed with the karmic mothers who spread the rumors and always chattering and gossiping with their friends about their own children, that wreaks havoc on your solar plexus. That deals with the child's, the way they see themselves, their self-esteem, their personal power. They literally chop that down. And not only that, another portion that in a way is silences a child. You put a block on their throat chakra, because if that child tries to say anything, then that child is actually looked at worse, because it's almost like, how dare you? That's your mother. You don't do, you're not supposed to say she takes care of you. She takes care of you. Yeah, I'm sorry. In any person who does that, who is cruel to children, they all know, feed them, keep some clothes on their back. You can get away with anything you want, because for some reason, people see that as, that's the pinnacle of taking care of a child. So if you eat dinner you better not say anything. And if you try to say anything, the child is looked at even worse. So that silences a child. That's another block right at the throat. And when you have blocks in the chakra, that block, because this is another one that you will see often too. A lot of these kids that grow up in these homes, they deal with a lot of tumultuous relationships. And because their root chakra was blocked at home, that chakra is going to overcompensate and pull on the next one, knocking that out of balance, which is the sacral. Because a lot of times these kids, especially when they're real young, and that's how they end up growing and take that into adulthood, they are looking for love outside of themselves because that's something they never experienced or got at home. So people think it's nothing. Oh, well, it's just that and that, or you shouldn't say this, or that's your mom, blah, blah, blah. You've literally solidified blockages in almost all of your child's chakras, and they're going to take that into adulthood. And like I said, the chakras, they receive, assimilate, and transmit energy. So that child is always going to, unless those things, they go in and consciously heal that and know that, they're going to constantly attract and bring in people, situations, circumstances that match that lower frequency. So that's one thing that people, it's always just swept under the rug, and it's way too common. I see that all the time. I saw that growing up, and even as a child, I used to sit there and wonder, almost pray like, when are some of these adults going to realize what they're listening to? Because if you look at what some of these karmic parents were saying, it's hatred. And they would sit up there and laugh. That's putting blockages on the child. Now, this is where it's going to get sensitive. So if you're real sensitive, you may want to click off here. But I want to show you just how damaging and how far that can travel when it's unchecked. Now, the first time I tried to unalive myself, I was 12 years old. By the time I was 12, I already had a smear campaign that had been running for years. So when that had especially my throat chakra, which it probably was a result of shut up spells too, but my throat chakra was completely blocked, and I noticed after that happened, things got like way worse for me because I wasn't speaking for myself. I had a toxic parent speaking for me. So after I tried to unalive myself, nobody even came to ask me. Only one person tried to talk to me. And that was my dad, which my dad was the only person who showed me unconditional love. And he tried to talk to me about it, but I literally could not speak since he was the only person that showed me love. I just wanted it at that point to go away. But she got way worse after that and ran with her own narrative. So it got worse for me after that because, of course, everyone was saying, oh, she's just so selfish. She got in trouble. She was so selfish. Which, yeah, I did get in trouble, but she lied about why I got in trouble. Problem is, I don't know why it's certain words that you can't say on here, but I was completely and totally violated by a man her age. molsted were completely violated. But see, if you have a karmic mother, that karmic mother, she's not going to look at it as the crime that it is. She's going to look at it as, oh, this man picked her over me. So instead of calling the police and getting him arrested, I got in trouble and never received as much hate and felt that much hate in my life to where I felt that was the only thing that I can do was to just take myself out. So like I said, things never changed for me. The older I got, the worse it got. So, it get older, kind of taper off, start putting more distance. But I noticed like decades later, when I really started doing the shadow work and doing the deep healing, things got way worse for me. I got another insurance policy put on my head, and all kind of little screwed up plans were put into play. So yeah, it got worse. And the whole time along, from when I was a child all the way into adulthood, it was still the gossip and the slander, the lies and rumors. Could see what these wicked ass witches are really doing is when you gossip and lie like that and change how everybody sees you, that's dimming that child's light. That's keeping that child small. What they're then doing is living off of that child's energy. So like I said, the whole time, decades and decades past, she lying, making up stuff, and just collecting more people. So, of course, by then, I cut her loose, was still trying to hold on to some family members. But years later, 10 more years strung along, held me back, realized that the people I was still trying to deal with were basically working for her. So at that point, that's why I just had to cut everybody off. Now, come 2020, when the energy really started, when the energy first started shifting, it got way, way worse. Because the little fake 3D reality that she created off of my energy, and it was just like a real obsession just to see me. I don't get it. When there's constantly that constant gossip, they are obsessed with seeing you broken, down, beaten, depressed, everything. The obsession just almost became, I hate to put it like this, but like almost animalistic. So when you cut that, especially since 2020, with these elders in the family, karmic mothers who did all that gossiping lying, cut it off, because see, the little 3D reality they built off of their children or grandchildren's energy, they don't have that anymore. And to where now she has basically, because they doing all kind of stuff behind the scene. I'm dealing with, because she's have, let me see, groups of people, family. I have secret societies, covens, useless ex, everybody. Just all these constant plot schemes, gang stalking, spying, hacking, everything, all because of gossip and lies. And what they really don't understand is that it's funny, because she sees people as chess pieces. So she doesn't deal with people that she can't control, because she's behind the scenes playing them and talking about them too. That's how she is. She is loyal to no one, because she hates seeing anybody happy, actually, because anybody around her, and it's been like this for over 40, 50 years, you're going to be single. She's going to make sure if you deal with her, she's going to be behind the scenes making sure you're single. Everybody around her single, or they may have a piece of a karmic relationship here and there. But for the most part, you're going to be single. So all these people, now everything is shifted. Here's the thing. A lot of the trauma I went through when I was young, I was supposed to go through that. That's even in my natal chart. I understand that. Thing is, that cycle is closed. Just because of gossip, that she has all these people, and they don't realize that she's playing the hell out of them, trying to force a cycle back open, because these people have no idea that they're doing this because she's harboring onto a grudge that she had against a baby. But now they all screwed. Because see, number one, that cycle is not, it's over. It's not happening. She, because of gossip, she has literally just sat up here and screwed their lives up. Because that pendulum already started back to swing the other way, but they not ready. Then on top of that, they being watched. So, long story short, especially in these frequencies, especially with family, friends, it doesn't matter. People who are always gossiping, always talking about other people, keep your distance from them, because you don't know the depths of what that person is roping you into doing. Because karmic mothers, I just saw what in December they had one lady, and she's not the only one. The feds had been watching her for a year. They arrested her. She had been harassing behind the scenes, harassing her own child. Her child was still a teenager. She was harassing her child and trying to make it seem like her child's friends was doing it. And the feds actually watched her for a year. And she was a teacher at her child's high school. And that's usually how they are. They always harbor over you. They're always watching you, want to be real close to you because they want to see you suffer. All because they are unhealed. Like I said, a lot of them, they have included, because this is going on a lot now with families. They have just rounded up all their little flying monkeys to do this work. And I tell you, that cycle is closed. They not ready for what's coming back. So if you dealing with anybody or have family that have been that, have done that, especially you, and you still trying to be nice, honey, you might want to cut them cords and move away, because it's about to swing back and it's going to be nasty. Like I said, this year, I mean, the book of Revelation, all ancient texts, with the end times, all of this stuff is playing out right in front of our face, and they not ready. So just cut those cords and keep it moving. Anybody on that low frequency, because that frequency, people that do that, their mind and their bodies are not going to be able to withstand the energies coming onto this planet. It's over. Let them go.